Macho John Madden, a little shy of 1 in the morning, standing just outside my favorite coffee shop in Veracruz, Harita de Oro. And I spent 12 hours in the ER today at the big regional hospital, Hospital Regional, the poor person's hospital, because I've got badly infected feet. And had gone there on Saturday, and they gave me some fluid reducing meds and some ibuprofen, which shrinks them, and said come back Monday for a blood test. So I showed up there at 7:30 today for a blood test, and in the ER they examined me. 4 doctors, a really foxy woman doc, Cynthia Limon. Oh, she was amazing. And 3 guys tagging along behind her because she was clearly the hefa, the boss of that operation. And she says to me after a couple of exchanges in Spanish, she says, do you speak English? I said, better than Spanish. And she says, we all speak English, let's just talk English. So they were amazing, and she hospitalized me. She said, so on Saturday it was just the feet and the ankles that were swollen and hot to the touch and hurt to the touch, and now it's gone up your calves. Yeah. She says, don't go anywhere else. No, don't go out for a smoke. We're putting you in a bed, and we're going to hold you and see what's going on. And I do have a history of very serious foot infections, and that was what it was looking like. I had one 10 years ago that went systemic and got really bad. So they held me for 12 hours and said, you don't seem to have died that we know of, so go home. Should I see somebody afterwards? If it gets worse, come back here. So what I liked about that ER was there were no buzzing. Other American ERs, everybody's hooked up to a monitor and everything's making noise, and it's such a terrible soundscape. You can't rest at all. And I bet they have a intensive care ER, because there was no gunshot wounds, there was nobody in terrible pain. There may have been people who were pretty sick, but you couldn't tell it. And nobody's hooked to monitors, and I slept all day, and that's why I'm up so late at night. This place closed 2 hours ago. I spent an hour here with my videos, because I upload YouTube videos. And I just made the connection. I was at the big U of L teaching hospital in Louisville after a pretty major stroke, summer of 21. And an ambulance had out in the country. I went into an ER. They called the doc over at the big U of L hospital, and he says, yeah, send him in by ambulance. I was so whacked out that although I had a wonderful encounter with the woman in the ambulance, she said I was her favorite fare ever. We really talked. But I wanted a lot to get back to her. Could you document how out of it I was? Because they kept me for 5 hours and then put me back out on the street with the diagnosis of lightheadedness. Yeah, I waited 5 hours. They spent 15 minutes, said, look in my eyes and shit like that, and said, okay, lightheaded. And then sent me back out on the street, still not knowing where I was, wandering around, because they profiled me as old, living in a camper van, homeless. We don't care much about him. And language was not an issue there. So I'm still whacked out. I'm still very wobbly. Really have to make sure not to fall down. But I'm very creative. I'm working with my videos for 2 hours here and just made a long one. So I promised this was going to be a short one, and what was I going to say? Oh, I was going to sing, because I haven't sang in any of my other videos. In 4 years of travel, I've become a singer. I'm way more in my body now. I had a huge spiritual experience in traveling. I've just gotten physical in a whole new way. And whereas in the choir where I used to go to church in Nashville, I was the infamous guy who went flat. I had to stand next to Sherman Hoover, who was perfect pitch. And when I went flat, he'd go like this, and I'd go up. But I sing better. We'll see if I live up to that. But one of my favorite songs that really fits today, because I'm not drunk, I'm just toxified from this infection and dizzy. Along the beaches of South Padre Island, or maybe even back in Southwest Louisiana, I started singing a song, a doo-wop song, not doo-wop, but early, kind of pre-rock and roll song. I'm like 77, so I used to get this music kind of pre-rock and roll, and it's Scotch and Soda. So I'm going to give you about a 12-minute version, maybe 1 minute. Scotch and soda, mud in your eye. Baby, do I feel high? Oh me, oh my. Do I feel high? People won't believe me. They'll think that I'm just bragging, that I could feel the way that I do and still be on the wagon. Oh, this is the part I like. All I need is one of your smiles, sunshine of your eyes, oh me, oh my. Do I feel higher than a kite can fly? I only went flat a little bit. I used to not be able to hit that one at all. Give me lovin', baby. I feel high. Buenas noches, señor. Cantando muy bien, ¿no?
Sí.
Otra vez.
¿Me puede regalar un cigarrito?
People won't believe me.
Sí, me regala un cigarrito, sí, muy amable.
Tengo cigarros. Quiero cigarro?
Yes.
Sí, you can have a cigar. Don't steal my phone, or I will fuck you up for sure.
Everybody. Thank you.
No problema.
Aquí tiene permiso para acercarme.
Okay.
Dios lo bendice. Gracias.
Yeah, mucho gusto, señor.
Hasta luego.
He's a working guy. He's no problem. He's not like the punk who stole my battery the other night. I did have that happen just about 5 nights ago. So, okay. You didn't know there was going to be a live audience. I didn't know there was going to be a live audience. Okay, bye.